Hello and good morning. I want to just remind everyone that my name is Miss C and this is Miss C's Corner. Today, I want to talk about something that's going to be kind of a big deal in my opinion. And it's going to require that you change the way you think about things a little bit. It's going to require that you are able to have a different perspective, a new understanding of the way we've done things and the way we can do things. Today, I want to talk about social emotional learning and why it's important. Because I know everyone has heard this so many times, SEL, social emotional learning, emotional intelligence. But no one's probably taken the chance to tell you why it's important, why it matters, why we're harping on it so much this year. So I wanted to take a quick minute to tell you why social emotional learning is important. First of all, social emotional learning, or as I may refer to it sometimes, SEL, is a life skill. Now I know you're thinking a life skill. Isn't a life skill something like how to budget your checkbook or how to fill out a tax form or how to add or read or write? Aren't those life skills? And yes, they are. Those are crucial life skills. It is entirely important to know how to read and write and understand mathematics and understand the way the world works. Those are some of the most important life skills. But emotional intelligence and social emotional learning is also a life skill. It's a life skill because the things that SEL can teach you are things like how to recognize and be aware of your own emotions, how to be aware of what's happening in your body, aware of when you feel anxious or nervous, and then to take that awareness and do something about it, to calm yourself down or center yourself or manage those big emotions. And even more than that, social emotional learning is about teamwork. It's about things like communication skills and problem solving and how to engage with other people and knowing when to speak and when to listen. These are crucial life skills. They are so important that research has found social emotional learning and emotional intelligence is a better predictor of academic and life success than IQ. Let that sink in for a minute and think about what that means. That means whether you are successful in life and academics is dependent not only on an IQ score and not only on your intelligence, it's dependent on your ability to make friends, to communicate, to engage socially, to solve problems, to manage your emotions, recognize your emotions. It's based on emotional intelligence. That means everything we've been teaching our kids in school, all of the math and the reading and the writing and the science and history, the language arts, it is vital, yes, and it is a crucial life skill, but it's not enough. It's not enough because our kids aren't learning about feelings and emotions. They're not learning about the importance of understanding and listening to your body, knowing when you feel tense or relaxed, knowing how to calm yourself down, knowing how to work in a group and solve conflict. You don't learn that when you're writing your letters or learning cursive. So, what does this mean? It means, like I said at the beginning, you need to shift the way you understand how we've been doing things and how we can do things. It requires a major shift in our philosophy, in the way we understand education, and in our priorities. Because if all we care about is a test score, if all we care about is a score on an IQ test, how well our student is doing on standardized measures, it's not enough. Because the fact of the matter is, students are growing up in a different world, in a different time. Everyone has a mini computer in their pocket in the shape of a phone, and it can do amazing things. It can make calculations and research anything you want in a matter of seconds. So that means students have new things that they need to learn. When they go out to a job interview, they don't need to know history and science. They can look it up. They don't need to know all of these things off the top of their head. But what they do need is creativity. They do need innovation. They need teamwork. They need people skills, as we call them, soft skills. They need to be able to do creative things and think outside the box. They need to be able to communicate effectively. They need to be able to work in a team and to know how to resolve conflicts within that team. They need to know ways that they can become a leader around their own life. That means they need to know how to be proactive, how to be responsible, self-reliant, and self-motivated. It's a lot of self. They need to know how they themselves can have a vision in their head and make it a reality. Follow steps, have a dream, make a plan, and see it through. These are the skills that everyone is looking for in their new workers. It's not just about knowing the facts anymore. It's not enough. You need to know more. Students need to know how to do things like how to be a creative thinker, how to be innovative. The creator and inventor of Microsoft and Apple didn't get there from reading a book. They got there because they were innovative. They got there because they thought out of the box. They were creative. They had a vision, they made a plan, and they set their plan in action. Those aren't things we teach in a school. And that is the people that we need in the future. We need innovative thinkers. We need creative problem solvers. We need communicators. We need leaders. And that's why social emotional learning is so important. And I cannot stress enough how much this can change our kids' lives. Because the truth is, emotional intelligence is a better predictor of life success. That means if our kids know their feelings, their emotions, can manage them, can manage conflicts, they're going to do better in life. This means that they're going to do better in college, not because of a test score, but because they understand their emotions and they can manage them. That is amazing to me that we now know it's not just academics. It is so much more. It is social. It is emotions. It is everything that we've never stopped to think about that is so important. Because here's the truth. If we teach our kids social emotional learning, we're teaching them skills and ways to say no to risky behaviors. We're teaching them how to have a voice, how to have self-assurance, how to have self-esteem and confidence in themselves to be able to say no to risky behaviors. That means less kids saying no to things like drugs and alcohol and substances. It means less kids dropping out of school, less kids on the pipeline to the criminal justice system. It means more kids staying in school, graduating from high school and going to college and being successful. It's like saying to you, I have the key to your student's life success and not taking it. It would be silly. We would think that was insane to know a thing that could change a child's life and not do it. And the fact is, so many people don't like social emotional learning because it's hard. We think, how do we even integrate that? How do we talk about feelings with our kids in our math class? That seems impossible. That doesn't seem realistic. How do we do it? Well, I'm going to tell you there's a really simple way to do it. And the simplest way is the leader in me. Yes, it's going to come back up. Yes, I'm going to keep using it. And the reason is because the leader in me uses the idea that every student is a leader. But even more than that, that every child is important and every child has a skill or a trait, something that makes them special. And it is our responsibility as administrators, staff, teachers, and educators to find that skill and foster it in each and every child. And I know it's a lot of work. Trust me, I get it. But the fact is we can do it. Because when you think about it, isn't that why we became educators? Wasn't that our reason why long, long ago when we were young and fresh-eyed and we wanted to change the world, when we wanted to change students' lives and educate them and help them to find whatever it was that made them special and foster it and give it life and let it grow? Isn't that why we did this at the very beginning? And the fact is, I want that to be our why. I want that to be the reason we become leaders in our own lives, in our students' lives. I want that to be why we practice social emotional learning, because we want our kids to grow, because we want them to see the amazing possibilities in their life and the amazing possibilities that they can be and do. And I want our kids to understand that they can do anything, that anything is possible for them. I don't want them to see limitations. I want them to truly feel like they are a leader in their life and in their school and in their community. That's why social emotional learning is one of the most important things we can teach our kids. There's a great quote that I love, and I'll leave you with this. It's by Booker T. Washington. And the quote says, "Few things help an individual more than to place responsibility upon him and to let him know that you trust him." Why don't we do that? Why don't we put responsibility on our kids? Let them know that we trust them. Let them know that each and every one of them is important and that each and every one of them matters, that each and every one of them has the potential to be a leader. It's a hard ask. Like I said at the very beginning, it's going to require you think and change the way you've done things a little bit. But honestly, I would want every single one of my kids to feel like a leader. I would want every single one of them to feel responsible and capable, a leader in their own life. Who wouldn't want that for their child? I want to thank all of you for listening to this very long spiel about social emotional learning. And I understand that it's a lot, but the fact is social emotional learning is the most important thing we can teach our kids. And we can't afford to not do it. Because if we don't teach our kids these crucial life skills, then we're not preparing them for the true success in life. And isn't that our job? To prepare our kids to be successful? And wouldn't we want to do every possible thing to do that? I don't know, just an idea. Like I said, please use the comments, talk about what you think, tell me if you agree or disagree with what Dr. Covey is saying about leaders and about the importance of social emotional learning. If you have questions, if you feel like this resonated with you in some way, if you want to know more, please use the comments. Please engage. I'm interested to see what everyone thinks. And like always, make it a great day.